All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Just give me a second. I'm going to post something real quick on Twitter regarding crypto stellar. So let me just post that. Post this real quick. Okay, great. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, today and every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is October 13th, 2021. Before we begin, make sure to click bottom right-hand corner of your screen, little white square. You click on that, turn notifications, like our videos, comment your questions. We will answer them to the best of our abilities, meaning me, just depending on the question, obviously. And just here to help every day. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. Dow futures are down 28 points. NASDAQ is green, up 32. S&P is basically flat, 43.40. Russell 2000 up 0.15%. Let's see where we're at. Crude oil is down nearly 1%, 79.94 a barrel. The dollar is down 0.11%, 94.41. 10-year yields 1.587. VIX is actually red, 19.54, down 1.5%. Gold is up slightly, 0.06%, 17.60 an ounce. Silver futures 22.71 an ounce, up 0.87%. Euro dollar up 15 pips, 115.44. 113.67, up 5 pips for the dollar yen. Ethereum futures are slightly green, up 0.16% at 34.94. 55.615 for Bitcoin at 0.36%. And just a quick check on our subscribers. We are now at 7,947. So close to getting to 8,000 subscribers. We need 53 more. So if you do enjoy this video, share it with a friend, share it with a colleague, whoever enjoys the market. Really do appreciate it, of course. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some headlines before we begin. BlackRock reported earnings. Earnings season is kicking off. BlackRock had a $5.05 billion worth of revenue, beat $4.85 billion. Adjusted EPS of $10.95. The estimate was $9.48. Net inflows of cash into their fund or to their bank, 75.31 billion. Estimated was 102.46 billion. Long-term inflows, 97.97 billion versus 101.72 billion. Accounts under management. This one will blow your mind. BlackRock has under management. This is assets under management. Their funds, everything. $9.46 trillion. Accounts under management, assets under management, excuse me. That's insane. But here's some of the headlines. BlackRock quarterly profit beats estimates as rise in assets boosts fee income. Here we go. Next is JP Morgan Chase. We'll go and bring up JPM here. JP Morgan Chase adjusted revenue. I do own shares in JPM. 30.44 billion, estimate of 29.68 billion. Net interest income of 13.18 billion, slightly less than 13.19 billion. The estimate investment banking revenue 3.03 billion versus 2.65 billion. Equity sales trading revenue 2.6 billion versus the 2.17 billion estimate. Right now it is down pre-market. Again, some pretty solid numbers from JPM. I think financial still has another leg up as interest rates will continue to climb in the future. So if you're looking for JPM, possibly an entry or to buy some, right here would not be the best place to go. I would say around 152, 155 would be a good place. Right now, it's down pre-market, but again, not enough for us to really want to wet our beak in terms of buying more shares. MBA mortgage applications, October was actually up 0.02%. The previous was down 6.9%, last week's reading. 30-year mortgage rate currently 3.18%. The previous last week's mortgage rate was 3.14%. I just refinanced my home from a 30-year to another 30-year fixed. Luckily, I'm below the 30-year rate currently. I'm at 2.87, so I'm going to hold that for a while, obviously. But again, if you're looking to refinance, speak to a real estate professional, speak to a mortgage broker. They'll be more than happy to help you. Let's take a look at the big number. This is the one that everyone was looking for. This is what I was looking for. This is our CPI data. Again, I'm just going to read you the information, then we'll talk about it. This is consumer price index month over month, 0.4% for September. The estimate was 0.3%, a tick up. Previous was 0.03%. CPI, which is core, this is excluding food and energy month over month, is 0.2%, which is exactly what was expected. The CPI year over year, September 5.4%, the estimate was 5.3%, so 0.1% up. Core CPI, again, excluding food and energy, year over year, did meet expectations of 4% increase in terms of cost. So again, inflation is running around 4% year over year currently. So that's where we are right now. Just got this off the wire. The Fed funds pricing is pricing a 90% chance of a 2022 Fed hike. We've been saying that for a while. We're not going to get a Fed hike, rate hike until next year. So again, this is where you want to position yourself, for the companies or stocks that are going to go ahead and benefit from a higher interest rates. That would be financials. JPM is fine, Citibank is fine, Goldman Sachs is fine, BlackRock is fine, Morgan Stanley is fine, Bank of America is fine to own. I own JPM and I own Goldman. So again, those are two that I own. Again, as interest rates start to creep, I don't think that's going to affect the market as a whole. I don't think it's going to be that much of a shock since we're pretty much in a cheap money era. We've been that way for a while. But again, if you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking to do any kind of big purchases, maybe you own a business and you want to expand, there's a lot of money available very cheaply. Obviously, just be smart, borrow what you can handle. Don't go nuts and just go from there. But again, keep that in the back of your head that next year we'll be seeing a tick up in rates. I wouldn't expect more than 50 basis points if that's the case and inflation runs too hot. If inflation is relatively tame and we do get a rate hike, more than likely it'll be 25 basis points. So I'm expecting next year 25 basis points in September, 25 basis points in December. That'll be 0.5% up from where we are currently in the Fed funds rate. That's good news for savers. If you have a savings account, it's good news for dividend owners, stock owners, because those stocks or those companies will increase their dividends as well. So again, if you're looking for income, dividend stocks are the way to go. I own my dividend portfolio. I've shared that many times. It pays monthly. And again, I still put a little bit every month to let it grow. Okay, enough of the news. So let's go ahead and take a look together at Bitcoin's chart. We'll go ahead and go over some pre-market and we'll answer some questions. So here's Bitcoin's chart right here. This is courtesy of Binance. This is a 1-hour chart. We're sitting right at the 200-day moving average. Again, very nice slope to the upside. Let's take a look at the daily. What are we looking at? We're still at a breakout level, but again, we're still rejecting that resistance around 59.4. So 59.4 is your level in the back of your head. Again, if you're buying every week, if you still own Bitcoin, nothing has really changed. If you're trading Bitcoin, then that's a different story. I don't trade Bitcoin, I just own it. Here's my crypto so far. Again, Bitcoin, Ethereum, my main two core holdings. Cardano I own, Tezos I own, Stellar is up today, I own that. Ripple I own as well. Again, I talked about that yesterday. Can't really buy or sell more. Polygon I still own. GRT we added for our investment club. We are green on it now. We bought some Luna. Again, we're down on it. SushiSwap has been the laggard, and of course Shiba. I took some profits off it, and I still own some. So that's where we are in terms of crypto. Again, my target date is December for Bitcoin to take profits, sell about 2 coins. Ethereum, again, if we get to 10,000, I'll sell some. Cardano, I'll sell some this year. Once we get to around 5, again, I expect another leg up in crypto by the end of the year. So again, kind of prepare yourself mentally for that as well. Again, it's not a pump and dump thing. Again, you can take it when you want. If it makes you happy to sell here, go for it. Be my guest. But for the most part, I'm just waiting for December. Again, I'll post when I sell, if that makes you feel better. All right, let's take a look at some pre-market movers, and then we'll chart together. And then I have YouTube Premium for our second session this week. Anything that stands out for the high volume, most active is really just Plug. Plug is up 6.62%. On the Dow, Apple's down about 0.5%. They had some news come out after the bell. I'll go ahead and read it to you. I have Apple calls, which kind of sucks, so that hurts. That'll probably more than likely be an L. Let's see how the price action goes. Apple is likely to slash its projected iPhone 13 production targets for this year because of prolonged chip shortages. So that's why Apple's down pre-market. JPM had a nice earnings report. They're down about 1/4 point. Verizon slightly red. Boeing is up 0.81% here on the Dow. Nike's up 0.42%. We had Nike calls for our masterclass members and they caught it yesterday for a nice little snack. So did YouTube Premium. Lowe's is up 0.33%. Delta also reported earnings. They're down 1.81% pre-market. MGM is up 0.23%. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ and what's moving. Tesla's up nearly 0.5% today. I still have some Tesla calls. AMD up 0.52%, and Facebook is up 0.40% today. Okay, tons of stuff to get to. Okay, let's take a look at NASDAQ, S&P futures. Again, guys, if you like commentary, if you like updates, Twitter is your friend. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. Extremely important because I know you guys are really into that stuff. If you like the morning note and you like me commenting on the market, what's moving, what's shaking, Twitter is the best way to go. We'll post most of the Twitter stuff, some of the Twitter stuff on Instagram, so you guys are not missing out, but Twitter is your friend. So you can see this downward channel. We've been talking about that for a while. Right around 43.15, 43.20, we'll re-enter that channel. That's when I would probably be looking at going short. But until then, we're still hugging that 200-day on the hourly. We need to get to 43.66 so we can start getting back to around 4400, 44.20. I wouldn't be doing much here, but 43.66 does break. I'll be looking at some SPY calls. I talked about that yesterday on Twitter. I'll show you the actual tweet on it. If I can bring that up here. I had it here. Where is this thing? Here you go. All right, so you can see here, 43.66 is the next level to watch on E-mini futures. I have the alert there. Break that. SPY calls within the target range of around 438 to 440 is a possibility. We have not broke that yet. So if we do, take a look at that when it comes to E-mini futures and SPY. So that's where we are technically so far. Not much going on. NASDAQ is looking like it's tapping that upward channel as well. They are green pre-market. I also have some Tesla calls. I should be getting out of that today. Apple, unfortunately, I had the 145s, and then we took a hit yesterday. Unfortunately, towards the end of the day from that report, we were holding the 100-day, and now it looks like, let's see if we get a bounce back. We're down about less than $1 pre-market. The question is, do we get a bounce? So we'll have to wait and see. All right, I know it was a lot. Let's answer some questions. Good morning. Let's see, Vibe Dealer has his coffee. Good morning, I got mine. Rug pull at the open. I don't see a rug pull, to be completely honest with you. I'm actually pretty bullish for the next 2 days. CPI wasn't as bad as expected. I mean, you're talking about one tick above what was expectations on CPI. Core CPI, which is excluding food and energy. Again, we know energy is up. We know that energy costs are up due to gas prices. So if you strip that away, food and gas, again, food is part of gas, obviously, because of transportation costs, supply chain issues. Inflation is right where it needs to be, expected-wise. Does that mean that we're not seeing inflationary pressures around? Yes, we're seeing inflationary pressures. Also, keep in mind, guys, as we're getting to the holiday season, a lot of the items that you're looking for is probably not going to be available. So again, if you're someone that has a big family, a lot of kids, you may want to do your shopping pretty soon because of the fact that we may be running out of some stuff. Again, we're in a post-COVID world, post-COVID recession world where supply chains are still an issue. A lot of retailers are sending their own ships to get the products from overseas. So again, if you want to get some sneakers for your kids, your best bet is to start buying them now, toys and so on and so forth. Start looking at it now. Don't be last minute. Obviously, we'll have Black Friday coming up soon, but for the most part, I think that this kind of supply chain issue, inflationary pressure will subside. Yes, I do believe it's transitory and inflation will curve down a little bit. But again, we're still just in the beginning stages of a bull market. Again, this CPI data was pretty nice to see that it wasn't as bad as expected. Sure, 4% year over year isn't the best. Obviously, the Fed's target was 2%. But again, this will subside. This will even out as supply chain issues go forward. What I do like from this economy right now speaking, the macro sense, is that demand is still there. Demand for goods, demand for products, demand for services are still around. People are traveling. I just got back from Dallas. The plane I was in, both of them were full to the brim. The airports were packed. Granted, DFW is a big airport, one of the busiest ones, packed. Orlando, packed again. So you're starting to see people traveling again. Hotels are being booked. People are doing their thing. I was at the Dallas Cowboy game. That thing was sold out. You're talking about 100,000 people. Pretty cool to see. We're starting to get back to normalization. Will it happen this year, at the end of this year? Probably not, but again, next year, 2022, I think we'll start getting back to normal, which is a good thing. Good morning, JPM plug and Tesla. Okay, so JPM here, we are falling a little bit. We're starting to bounce. I would not touch it here for calls or puts. If you start getting below 162, that's where it gets interesting for some puts. If you wanted to buy more shares of JPM like I have, I own, I would wait for around 152 to around 155 for a good level to buy some. Let's take a look at Apple. Again, I have calls. We're starting to bounce slightly. We're right around 141. It was a nice flush. Then it bounced up nicely. If we can get back to 143, maybe the S&P, maybe the Nasdaq starts bouncing a little bit here. I'm going to hold on to it. It's red, pretty red. Let's see if we can recapture 143.10. It is Wednesday. Tesla, I do own the 840 calls. Again, Tesla has been moving up. It is up another $5 today. We should be able to get that today. I'm going to place an alert around 813.65. That's the wick high overnight. If that does happen, then our calls should hit. That'll be for YouTube Premium, and that'll be for all the Signal members as well. I expect Tesla to hit today, so let's see what we get. And plug, sorry. Let's take a look at plug together. Again, I don't have plug power. I do have blink charging. There is a nice gap up here on plug. The question is, do we get continuation? Let's take a look at the daily together. Looking at the daily here. Looking at the daily, we're right at 31.78. It is a breakout. So you can take a look at possibly the 33 calls. Give yourself some time, possibly next week if that's the case. I'd wait for the price action to kind of settle for the first 15, 20 minutes. If that does happen, then 33 is the target. Keep an eye on plug. Z, long-term buy and hold and calls. Z, I believe, is Zillow. Okay, so Zillow is yes, they are buying a lot of real estate. That's what I read. Again, if you like real estate, Zillow is probably something that you really are on top of probably on a daily basis. Maybe you're a real estate agent or what have you. It is at 92.77, slightly up, but again, 95.04 is your 50-day moving average on the daily. You need to break that first before you do anything. Is it near support? If you're looking for a buy and hold, I think Zillow here is fine because on the daily you're at support, and then you could possibly target, from 92 to possibly 150 for a swing trade. If you're just looking to buy and hold, I think Zillow is a great company to own. I'm not going to buy it myself. Again, I'm not against Zillow, but again, for the most part, I have some real estate stuff already through Fundrise, my REITs. So again, I don't want to be full of real estate in my portfolio either. Matter of fact, I actually hate real estate. Okay, I'm sure you can answer this, but price to add on Apple. If you're looking to add Apple shares, let's go ahead and maximize the sell together. If you're looking to add Apple shares, I'm going to go ahead and go to the daily. Really, your level to look at is right here, which is around 137.94, which is a pretty decent level to get into Apple. I own Apple. My whole IRA is Apple. I love the company. So right around 137.95 would be a good level to buy some, and you own it long term. I'd rather just own it, not trade it, except if it's calls. Uber, let's take a look at that together. Oh, Uber. I think Uber just closed the deal, the acquisition of that liquor company that is that does liquor delivery. They're now at 46.90, slightly up pre-market. There's a big overhead resistance right around 50.37. So if you're trading that at home, you really need to get above 48, and then I would target 50 on Uber. I own shares, so again, Uber doesn't really move the needle for me right now. Could you please share your dividend portfolio again? Yeah, let me get that for you. See if I can get that really quickly before I get on YouTube Premium. Let me get on my TD Ameritrade here. Bear with me a second. I'll look at that right now. Okay, while that's loading, let's take a look at NEO. Again, NEO I own as well. NEO is right around 35.77 on the 1 hour, slightly up pre-market. You really need to go above 36.50 before you start playing this gap fill of around 37. Until then, I wouldn't touch it. Let's take a look at the dividend portfolio. And we have SPY. Again, we talked about SPY already. So SPY, what we really need to get to is above that break, 436. If that happens, 436.37, I would start taking a look at the 438s, possibly 440s, but 438s would probably be the way to go. Let's see if I can bring up my deal here. dividend, let's say portfolio planner, if I can find it. Planning advisor, income estimator. Let me go ahead. So here is the portfolio for the dividend portfolio. It's under income estimator. So I just scroll down and I go to my position, my portfolio that has it. So here is the actual setup of my dividend portfolio. I hope you guys can see it. I'll expand it. So far, every month I make about $362 on the portfolio. It pays monthly, about an annual income about $4,350. I know everyone likes to hear passive income. That's as passive income as you get. Dividend stocks, there's no rental, there's no tenants, there's no nothing. It's just owning stocks. So here's the stocks I own: ETV, PDI, CSQ, DNP, HTD, UTG, and BST, which is BlackRock. And you can see some of the yields they do vary. PDI, which is PIMCO Dynamic Income, that's nearly 10%. But again, they've paid out every month. I haven't had an issue. If I read something, I'll let you guys know. Worst case, I'll sell it. But again, it's nice to own. I put $1,000 a month in it. I let that grow. I just rotate each stock as I go. So I'll put 1,000 in one, 1,000 another, and 1,000 another, 1,000 every month. And then again, the goal is to bring this up to around 100 grand, even more. Just hold on to it and just let the dividends reinvest. That's really what I do. And it's been working out. I think I started this portfolio with I don't remember, 45 or maybe less than that. I'd have to take a look exactly. I think I opened it since, when did I open this thing? This is since the 4th. I opened it with 43,000. 43,000 is when I opened it back in December 7th. 43,198. I've been adding to it every month, about 1,000. Now it's at 58,559, which is pretty great. Obviously, it's a nice gain. We've had some nice gains on it. The investment club has been in it with me, so they like it. And again, it's pretty much as autopilot as it gets. So there we are. G.A.R price for Square, that went too long than expected. So let's take a look at Square. Again, I own this stock. I like it. Need to get above 253 before you do any calls on it. Need to get below 222 if you do any puts. Possible calls for Q. Let's take a look at it. Qs really need to get above 365. That's your overhead resistance. If you really want to kind of scalp it for a quick hitter, maybe 362 break, then you start taking the 364s. But I'd wait for 365. So that's what I'm waiting for. G.A.R, this is growth. G.A.R, I think it's that cannabis stock. Grow generation. Starting to fall a little bit overnight and then came back up a little bit. Again, I'd rather own THCX, which gives me everything, instead of just one stock itself, like a Tilray. So we're starting to see futures bounce. I got to get in touch with my YouTube Premium guys. So I'll end the video here. Have a great rest of your day. If you want to take a look at the dividend portfolio, just rewind a little bit and you can take a look at it. Again, that's what I own, if that makes a difference for you guys. Have a great rest of your day. YouTube Premium. I'll see you in about a minute or so. Cheers, guys. We'll see you soon.